This is Chief Engineer Marcus Webb, retired, formerly of the TFS Indomitable. I died at the Battle of Carthage Station. Technically. For about 7 minutes, my heart stopped beating in a decompressed corridor. Then I got back up. So did my ship. So did 216 others. This is Case File 313. This is the story of the Resurrection Fleet. The Battle of Carthage Station was supposed to be a standard engagement. Intelligence reported 800 Vexari warships approaching the station. We had 400 ships in the defense fleet. Outnumbered 2-1, but human ships had beaten worse odds. Admiral Yuki Tanaka positioned our fleet between the enemy and the station. 12 million civilians behind us. 60,000 sailors ready to defend them. The Vexari fleet emerged from hyperspace exactly where we expected. Then the trap was sprung. Additional signatures, hundreds of them. Then thousands. Ships decloaking from hidden positions throughout the system. Vexari vessels that had been lying dormant, powered down, invisible to our sensors for weeks. 800 became 3,000. We were surrounded. Outnumbered nearly 8-1. No escape route. No possibility of retreat. Admiral Tanaka's voice came across the fleet communication channel. Calm. Steady. The voice of a woman who understood exactly what was happening. All ships. This is Admiral Tanaka. We have been trapped. We cannot escape. We cannot win by conventional means. She paused. I remember holding my breath. But we can make them pay. We can buy time for Carthage Station. We can show the Vexari what human sailors do when there is no hope left. Her voice hardened. All ships. Attack formation Omega. No retreat. No surrender. Kill as many as you can before they kill you. It has been an honor serving with you. Tanaka out. We attacked. 400 human ships against 3,000 Vexari. The mathematics were impossible. But mathematics do not account for human fury. The first 20 minutes were almost glorious. We tore into their formations with everything we had. Our weapons were more accurate. Our tactics were superior. Our crews fought like demons. We destroyed over 200 Vexari ships in those 20 minutes. Then their numbers began to tell. The Vexari did not need to be better than us. They just needed to have more ships. They swarmed our vessels, concentrated fire on one target until it died, then moved to the next. The TFS Resolute fell at minute 23. The TFS Defiance at minute 31. The TFS Vengeance at minute 45. One by one, our ships died. I watched from the engineering deck of the Indomitable as the battle turned into a massacre. We were losing a ship every 2 minutes. The Vexari were losing ships too, but they had ships to lose. We did not. By minute 70, we had lost 300 ships. We had destroyed perhaps 500 Vexari vessels. A remarkable exchange rate. A heroic stand. It was not enough. At minute 82, the Indomitable took a critical hit. The main reactor went into emergency shutdown. Power failed across the ship. We were adrift, defenseless. I was in Corridor 7 when the hull breached. Explosive decompression. I was thrown against a bulkhead. I felt my ribs crack. I felt the air being pulled from my lungs. I felt the cold of space reaching for me. Then, darkness. I learned later that my heart stopped for 7 minutes. The cold of space actually saved me. It slowed my metabolism, preserved my brain. When a repair crew found me and dragged me to a sealed compartment, I was clinically dead. They revived me anyway. Humans do not give up on each other. The battle ended at minute 93. Every human ship was destroyed. 400 vessels, reduced to debris. 60,000 sailors, most of them dead. Admiral Tanaka died on the bridge of the Indomitable. A plasma round struck her command chair directly. She never knew the ship survived. Part of the ship survived anyway. The Vexari fleet gathered in formation around Carthage Station. 3 hours until the invasion force arrived. 3 hours until 12 million humans were conquered. They celebrated. They broadcast messages of victory across all frequencies. They laughed at the debris field that had been the Terran defense fleet. They made one critical error. They did not confirm their kills. Human ships are not built like Vexari ships. We come from a world where everything tries to kill us. We evolved in an environment of constant danger. We build our technology the same way we built ourselves, to survive. Every human warship has redundant systems, multiple power cores, distributed processing, backup life support, emergency protocols that activate automatically when primary systems fail. And one more thing, the resurrection protocol. When a human ship is destroyed, truly destroyed, reactor critical, hull breached, main power gone, the emergency systems do not simply try to save the crew. They try to save the ship. Micro-reactors in engineering sections power up. Emergency batteries activate. Backup computers come online. Whatever weapons can still function begin charging. A human ship is not dead until every system is cold. Every power source is drained. Every crew member is gone. The Indomitable was broken. 70% of the hull was destroyed. Main power was gone. The bridge was a crater. But Engineering Section 3 still had power. Medical Bay 2 still had atmosphere. Weapons Array 7 still had ammunition. And 37 crew members were still alive in various sealed compartments, including me. I woke up 47 minutes after my heart stopped. A junior engineer named Torres had performed CPR for 9 minutes straight. She saved my life. I saved the ship. The emergency systems had activated, but they needed coordination. The backup computers were functional but limited. What the Indomitable needed was a chief engineer who knew every system, every bypass, every way to make a broken ship work. I had served on that ship for 11 years. I knew her better than anyone alive. I crawled to Engineering Section 3. Broken ribs, internal bleeding, probably a concussion. I did not care. I reached the emergency control panel. I started bringing systems online. Micro-reactor 1, stable at 12%. Emergency batteries, 43% charge remaining. Weapons Array 7, 2 functional torpedo tubes, 8 torpedoes remaining. Engines, maneuvering thrusters only. Main drives destroyed. It was not much, but it was something. I activated the communication system. Emergency frequencies only. This is Chief Engineer Webb of the TFS Indomitable. Any surviving crew, report to Engineering Section 3. Any surviving ships, respond on this frequency. Static. For 30 seconds, nothing but static. Then a voice. Indomitable, this is Lieutenant Park, TFS Resolute. We have partial power and 18 crew. What are your orders? Another voice. This is Ensign Kowalski, TFS Defiance. Engine room intact. 40 crew. Ready for instructions. Another. And another. And another. Across the debris field, the story was the same. Human ships that should have been dead were coming back online. Crews that should have been corpses were returning to their stations. The resurrection protocol was working. I counted the responses. 217 ships. Some barely functional. Some missing half their hull. Some with only a handful of crew operating systems meant for hundreds. But 217 ships that could still fight. The Vexarii had no idea. They were focused on Carthage Station, preparing for their invasion. Their sensors had classified the debris field as destroyed. No threat. They were wrong. I took command. Admiral Tanaka was dead. Captain Okonkwo was dead. Every flag officer in the fleet was dead. I was a chief engineer, but I was the most senior officer responding. I gave my orders. All ships, power up whatever weapons you have. Move into attack formation as best you can. We have one chance to hit them before they realize we're not dead. I paused, looking at the damage reports from ships that were barely holding together. They think they destroyed us. Let's show them what destroyed humans can do. The resurrection fleet moved. It was not graceful. Ships missing sections of hull, drifting on maneuvering thrusters, weapons arrays pointing in whatever direction they could manage. We looked like a debris field that had learned to hate. We were. The Vexarii detected us at a range of 40 kilometers. Their sensors finally registered the power signatures, the engine activations, the weapons charging. Their commander broadcast a confused message. Unknown signatures in the debris field. Investigate immediately. Too late. 217 human ships opened fire simultaneously. We had limited ammunition, limited power, limited time before our jury-rigged systems failed. We could not afford a sustained engagement, so we made every shot count. Torpedoes streaked toward Vexarii vessels. Plasma cannons fired at point-blank range. Ships that could not shoot rammed enemy targets instead, using their own broken hulls as weapons. The Vexarii formation dissolved into chaos. They had been celebrating. Their guard was down. Their ships were clustered for the invasion, not spread for defense. And they were facing an enemy that should not exist. 217 ghost ships, crewed by sailors who had already died once, fighting with the fury of beings who had nothing left to lose. We killed 400 Vexarii ships in the first 10 minutes. Their commander tried to rally his forces. All ships, concentrate on the debris. Destroy them again. His flagship was the next to die. The Indomitable's last 2 torpedoes struck his reactor core. After that, the Vexarii broke. 3,000 ships had entered this system. They had destroyed our fleet with what seemed like minimal effort. They had celebrated victory. Now they ran. They ran from broken ships and dying crews. They ran from debris that refused to stop fighting. They ran from humans who did not understand that they were supposed to be dead. We pursued as long as we could. Ships dropped out of formation as their emergency power failed. Weapons went silent as ammunition ran dry. Engines sputtered and died. But we pursued. By the time the resurrection fleet finally stopped, we had destroyed over 700 additional Vexarii ships. Combined with the losses from the first battle, the Vexarii had lost nearly half their force. They would not return to Carthage Station. They could not. Their invasion fleet was shattered, their command structure destroyed, their confidence broken. 12 million humans were saved by ships that should have been wreckage. I collapsed at my station after the battle. Blood loss and exhaustion finally caught up with me. Torres dragged me to Medical Bay 2, where the Audiobook kept me alive until rescue ships arrived. I spent 3 months in hospital, 8 surgeries, 2 artificial organs. A new left hand to replace the one I lost to frostbite. Worth it. The Battle of Carthage Station is studied at every military academy in the galaxy now. They analyze the first battle, the trap, the destruction of the human fleet. Standard tactics, standard outcome. Then they study what happened next. 217 ships that rose from death. Crews that returned to stations in compartments open to space. Weapons that fired from broken hulls. Engines that pushed shattered vessels forward. The Resurrection Fleet. They ask how it was possible. They study the engineering, the redundant systems, the emergency protocols. They try to replicate our technology. They miss the point. The technology helped. The redundant systems helped. The resurrection protocol helped. But what truly brought those ships back was something simpler. Human stubbornness. We do not accept death. We do not accept defeat. We do not accept that a fight is over simply because we have lost. Kill a human ship, and the crew will seal the breaches and restart the engines. Destroy a human fleet, and the wreckage will form up and attack again. Break us completely, and we will put ourselves back together with emergency systems and sheer willpower. That is what the Vexari learned at Carthage Station. You can defeat humans, you can destroy our ships, you can kill our admirals and shatter our formations, but you cannot make us stop. We will crawl back to our stations. We will power up whatever systems still function. We will fight with our last torpedo, our last battery, our last breath. And if you celebrate our destruction too early, we will rise from the debris and destroy you. This is Chief Engineer Marcus Webb, signing off. Case File 313 is now closed. They killed us at Carthage Station. We got back up. 217 ships. Broken, burning, barely functional. But still fighting. Always fighting. Because human ships do not die when they are destroyed.